Scrapbookers. So today we're going to be making the number 2 layout for my homemade kit. And you can play along. Just get a 6x6 paper pack. It doesn't have to be the one I'm using, but you get this and then you just use it to kind of gather all of your other embellishments and papers together. I've made another video for that, so you might want to go take a look at that. But if you've seen that, or you're okay with just watching a process video without watching that, I've challenged myself to, with the kit that I made, using this as my inspiration. This is Kelly Purkey's Mon Ami with basic gray paper pad, to make 9 layouts. So this is layout number 2, and I used my silhouette to cut chevron shapes, and then I backed it with not all of the different papers, but some of the different papers. I chose one photo that was not taken in Paris, but kind of it's a picture of my daughter when she was a baby. She looks very Parisian, I think, in that photo. And then I wrote all about different memories that I had of Paris, and then, you know, with the little note at the end that someday, my sweet Alice and the adventurer, I hope to take you to Europe, and I think you'll love Paris, which I think she will. I am not crazy about Paris, but I think my daughter will be crazy about Paris. Just have that feeling. But so this is the finished layout. If you would like to play along, go get your supplies. And I will warn you, I talk about making this layout in this video, but I also talk a lot about homeschooling and lots of other, lots of unfinished thought processes. So think of me as your virtual scrap buddy. I'm not concise. I go on and on and on. It takes me a long time to make the layout. There you go. There's all my disclaimers. Okay. So, go get your supplies and let's get started. Hi Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott, and hello, I'm going to be scrapbooking. So I made a kit based on this Kelly Purkey Mon Ami 6x6 paper pad. So there's a whole nother video on that, and you can look at that, and if you have a 6x6 paper pad, you can kind of follow along and make your own kit using your old stuff. Then I challenged myself to make 9 layouts using this kit that I've made. So this was the first layout, and there is a process video for that, and I have done the journaling. So I journaled on these little cards, and so there they are. Ta-da! So that's kind of like, I like to, and everybody doesn't need to know all of the details. I like to do the hidden journaling. So that's layout number 1. Now today we're going to work on layout number 2. So what I like to do for inspiration a lot of times is to go onto Pinterest. And this is just a background piece of paper that I had out yesterday and I didn't use, so let's see if we can use it. But one of the things I like to do on Pinterest is to look for inspiration. And a lot of times, what I find lately is that the same things will come up again and again. So it gets a little stale. But there is this layout that it's a little girl eating a cake pop. And then there's this whole line over here of different pattern papers, kind of like in a chevron shape. So I thought maybe I would try to see if I could replicate that. So it kind of looks like, I don't know if these will really work well for this, but kind of if you line them all up and then cut them. I'm trying to see if that's yeah, it's not. Okay, so that won't work. So that cake pop layout isn't a 90-degree angle. It's more of like a chevron angle. But let's just see if maybe we could line up papers from this pattern, this little doodad thing, 6x6 paper pad. Some of them really need to go straight up and down. but not all of them do. And this is kind of like, I feel like when a lot of the layouts you see online are made by people who are just doing something because they're just making the page because they are working for a design team and they need to show off all the papers. So this is, I think, one little trick that they can do to kind of show off everything. So I'm just trying to grab the pieces of paper that don't need to be, like, I feel like this one kind of needs to be straight up and down, although it probably doesn't. But it seems like it does because there's flowers growing up. So, and the same thing with the rain, like, unless I cut it, which is another idea. I could maybe do that, but I don't really want to. I want to make this easy. So I'm not going to make that layout exactly the same, but I am going to kind of take a cue from it. So here's my plan. It's a loose plan. So I'm going to sort of scrap lift that layout, and what will happen is I'm going to have this column of all of the different pattern papers going up and down here. There's going to be a picture here that is vertical in orientation. The title will go under the picture, and then the journaling will go under that. And no, I have not selected a picture or anything like that. And I'm just wondering if I have anything that I could use. I could probably cut something on the silhouette. That's probably a good idea. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut a chevron pattern out of this and then put them in the back. Okay, that's going to take me a little while. I'll be right back. So to you it'll take a second, but for me it'll take 10 minutes. Hi Scrapbookers, I'm back, and I gotta apologize in advance. I've got the laundry going and it's right near my desk, so you can probably hear the washer going, but I gotta do it. So okay, so these were the I looked around on my silhouette for chevron shape. I finally found one that didn't, that wasn't 90 degrees. So this is like bigger than 90 degrees. It's more, I think, obtuse than that. I don't know. We haven't done geometry a whole lot yet at homeschool. And the other thing that I thought was, I keep trying to use this piece of paper, and I don't know why. I just feel like I like it, but I don't think it's good for this one. So I just used remember that big basic gray giant flower? I don't even know what that is. Like, is it I don't think it's a hibiscus. It looks a little bit like a hibiscus, but I don't know. But we're not going to be using this side. We're just not. We're going to use the white side. And so I thought that would be the easiest way to kind of show, oh, that came off easily. Like, that never happens for me. That's awesome. So the layout that I'm loosely basing this design on is called, well, let me get back there. It's called Cake Pop, and it's by Midnight Rooster Kits, and it always comes up on my my Pinterest whenever I'm looking at Pinterest. So I'm just going to leave this as is for just a minute. I do have a trick that I use to transfer. No, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. I do have this little trick that I do, but I'm not going to do that right now. But I might use these chevrons in some other way. Maybe. It's possible. So sometimes it's really hard to get my son up for homeschool. So I vacillate, alternate, between waking him up early and like really being hard-nosed and just letting him sleep and then working when he gets up. And honestly, I don't know which one works better. It's a problem. Okay, so I think what I would like to do for these is to have like the darker colors at the bottom, and then let's just go up. And then I'm also thinking, do I want to maybe change the design of this just maybe a little bit? Because it seems like the chevron's going down kind of, I don't know. They either look military to me or they look depressing. So I'd rather have like the chevrons pointing to the right, which means like looking forward, or they could even look back, like rewind. That might be good, and then use an older photograph. Or they could go up, and I like that idea. Let me think about that for a minute. I think I'm going to do rewind, actually, because, yeah, in the homeschool, I mentioned this, I think, yesterday. We've been talking a lot about the Second World War, which I also mentioned, quickly got super duper depressing. And anyways, some of these have, they have got Paris, and they've got like Amsterdam looking houses and bicycles and things that look, you know, look very European. So let's try that. And then I do have, so the only relative I think that was in World War II that was in Europe was my grandmother's brother. But it might be a fun time to talk about where everybody was. Like, because my relatives ended up in like kind of odd places. Does that look okay? I don't know if I really like this. I'm still thinking about this idea. It looks a little too happy for a war kind of a... I don't know. Okay, I think let's just do it. Sometimes I just think too much. So I think what I will do is alternate between like busy and not busy patterns. So let's start with this. So I think what I'm going to want to do maybe is start over here and then go back. So these are going to need to be cut. Let's just cut them all the way in half, like triangles, and I think that will be easy to then use them. So part of the trick with using new things sometimes is just like, just cut it up. Just start cutting it, because you see what can happen with this type of paper. If you never cut it up, it never gets used, and then 10 years go by and you're just thinking, why on earth did I ever buy that in the first place? And I've never used it. So at least if you can cut it up, it gives you some options. I don't know if I want to do this. Oh, let's do it anyways. Actually, that kind of gives me an idea for, I could maybe make a layout, like the whole background of the layout be the triangles. That could be fun. Like, kind of like a quilt, you know? You know. Alright, what else can I tell you? So, yeah, so because we've been studying so much war, my son asked to switch over to something less like war. So we're going to be kind of focusing on science, which really isn't my thing, but we're going to focus on like, and I use the History Channel to supplement what we're learning, because he seems to remember that better. So I'm just in the phase of it's not perfect, but let's just go with what is working. So yeah, we're not on any particular curriculum at this time. I'm just making it up. And I imagine, so Florida I think is pretty loose in terms of homeschooling. Bet you didn't think this was going to be a homeschool lecture, did you? Well, if you're new to my channel, I will start scrapbooking, and then like the lady across you at the crop, I'm just going to start blabbering on about whatever. And so today, oh, there's going to be a storm today. Today I'm thinking about homeschool. But anyways, yeah, science is not my thing for sure. I wish it were, but it's just not. I can deal with biology, but I took, actually, after I graduated from law school, so I'm not a dummy, you know. I am good with book smarts, and I can, oh, this might not work out right, but oh well. But anyways, so after I graduated from law school, I got a job with a personal injury lawyer, and most of my days were spent reading medical records. So because that was like a totally foreign language to me, I signed up for an anatomy class at the local college just so that I would be able to read medical reports easier, so I'd know all the terms. And that was great, but I just audited the class, so I didn't have to do every, I didn't care about the grade. I just wanted the knowledge, basically. I wasn't doing it for any kind of credit. I did that a lot, actually, when I first got out of law school. I took classes over at the community college just for fun, like creative writing classes and the anatomy class. I just go in on a little class binge. It was fun. Back when I had more time, and before I was really scrapbooking avidly. I was scrapbooking, but I was not an avid scrapbooker at that point. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you is, I don't get chemistry. Like, I totally don't understand. I didn't understand it in high school. I didn't understand it after law school, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to understand it for homeschool. Well, maybe I'll surprise myself, but I kind of doubt it. So yeah, so at some point with our homeschooling, we're going to switch over to the Florida virtual school so that he would have actual teachers and stuff. But at this point, hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. At this point, the bigger priority was to get his happiness and confidence back up, because that was a definite problem in this last year. And then the other kind of priority was to just kind of see where he was, to go back and kind of catch him up. So I feel like a lot of his formal schooling, they're just kind of almost pushing him through. And so I wanted to go back and really make sure that he understood some of those things that, ooh, that's cute. So I still feel like I'm going to have to cut these. Grr. I don't know the best way to do this. How does that Paige Evans Taylor, whatever her name is, do it? She is always making all sorts of scrapbooking layouts that have, they've got all these little pieces to them. She just must spend a zillion hours cutting everything up. Okay, I don't know how to do this. I think what I'm going to do is use a little double stick tape, and then I'm going to tape it to this. Then I'm going to position it. So this kind of cures that problem that I was having with they need to be straight. And now I'm going to go back and cut it. And what the problem is going to be is now I'm going to be left with these crazy strips of pattern paper. So I need a little receptacle for that so that doesn't get crazy out of hand. But I also think that could be good just for the, Celeste Smith. If you don't know Celeste Smith, go over to Get It Scrapped and get familiar with her, because she's a scrapbooker that I've followed since the days of Simple Scrapbooks, which was a magazine, and she's really smart, and she gets so much done, and she does things fast, like I used to do. I don't have that qualifier. I used to be really fast, and I've lost my speed since I've moved to this sitting down scrapbook space, and I don't know, maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just getting old. So I'm just wonky cutting. What I want to do is just have these, I don't know, if you've got a better tip for how to do that, please let me know. Because this seems a little tedious. Anyways, back to what was I talking about? Oh, my homeschool objectives. So I think at the end of the year, we have like this evaluator come, and what I understand is we just have to show progress. And so in this year, I'm not super worried about like what's next. A lot of my friends have been like, well, what are you going to do about high school? Like they're already, you know, figuring out where their kids are going to high school. And I get that, because for my daughter, we've already thought about that, but for my son, it's just not on the let's worry about that agenda right now. Okay, I need a little receptacle. Oh, here we go. My favorite, Revere bowls. This is one that my aunt gave me. She had it in her yard sale. So it's stainless steel, 18/8 by Hansen in Denmark. So it's not really Revere, but it's got the shape of a Revere bowl to it. I'm a little obsessed with the Revolutionary War. I would like to get back to that with my son. And what I found with the I kind of like this. What I found with him and learning is we can learn something, or he can learn something, and then we need to like back off of it and then go back to it. So we were hitting the Revolutionary War pretty hard for a while there, because I love the Revolutionary War. I'm from New England, and my ancestors were in the Revolutionary War, and I feel like I love, I love a rebel with a cause, and I just love the whole story of the Revolutionary War. It's a fun story. For me, I like it. But yeah, I guess I was getting on way tangents about World War II and how it's really horrible to teach about it, except, I don't know, I went on 50 tangents, sorry. Or I think that's what you expect from me, right? You just want somebody blathering on, so you can feel like you have a crop buddy, like your virtual crop buddy, who occasionally makes a nice looking layout, but not every time. So no pressure there. You don't have to feel intimidated by me, because I, for sure, make a lot of duds, and that's okay. Okay, so I like that. It almost looks like tears. And World War II really was a good time for tears. What is so interesting, though, is like the American people were so into that war, and I don't really understand. I guess because we got bombed, yeah? Y'all? Oh, that's not even funny. But yeah, I don't understand the whole psyche of World War II. I do like that it seemed to bring Americans together. Like, they really, the sense of teamwork seemed important. And also, my sixth cousin was in the White House, old FDR, and Eleanor. She's so cool. They were both my cousins. They were cousins that married. And do you also know that Einstein, I always feel like I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Einstein, theory of relativity guy. We watched the whole thing about him yesterday. He divorced his perfectly nice wife, who was a scientist. And then, because she was like, you know why he didn't get along with her? This is so crazy. Because she was like, oh, you're going to all these scientific conventions, and I just want to know all about them. I'm so interested. oh, please tell me all about them. And he was like, just make me some dinner. Seriously. And then he would spend time with his first cousin, who would be like, oh yeah, I will make you lots of dinner. She was from Germany. That's my bad German accent. But he divorced his wife, marries his first cousin. Isn't that weird? So a man can be a genius and still be kind of an idiot. And so he didn't, live with his kids. The wife, I guess they were in Switzerland, and then he moved to Germany for his, to be a scientist. Because before that he was working in the patent office, and just as a lowly clerk. But his wife is like, ugh, I don't like this. Germany, I want to go back to Switzerland. And I don't blame her. If given the choice, I would live in Switzerland over Germany in a second. Yeah, totally. But, what was I telling you? 50 things. So yeah, he marries his first cousin. What was I going to tell you about marrying your first cousin? Or marrying your cousin? I had a point. Gosh, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, I am the talkative lady next to you at the crop. You know what's really funny though is if I actually went to a crop, I wouldn't talk at all. I would just listen to everybody else talk, because I would be afraid. So I don't think I'm an introvert. Sometimes I think I'm an introverted extrovert, but I'm always have this fear of boring people, which you're like, oh my gosh, you bore me all the time with your go on and on and on videos. But I feel like with the videos, you can just move on. Like if you think I'm boring, like there's a zillion other videos to watch, right? But if you just kind of like my random stream of thought, blah, 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 then cool. And I like to listen to people ramble on. I listen to podcasts usually, just because I haven't found somebody who does the scrapbooking videos like I do and just talk about anything. If you know of anybody, put it in the comments, let me know, or let, like maybe other people would want to know, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'd be totally cool with that. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. Something about first cousins marrying, and I did have a point. I don't remember. I do have a lot of cousins marrying stories in my family history. Yep, and so do you. You just don't know it. before you think, oh, my family never did that. Let me tell you what, everybody's family did that. Also, my son is like really a religious little guy, or a godly little guy. I wouldn't say religious because we don't go to church enough to be religious. Although he's gone to a lot of different church-affiliated schools where he's gotten the religion and the pomp and circumstance of it all. But when we're studying science, it's so funny because he'll just be like, oh no, Mom, that didn't actually happen because God made everybody in 7 days, and he definitely did not make people from apes, because we've been watching some about like the evolution of man, which I think is so interesting. And I say to him, maybe it's both. Like maybe God, started with the animals and then got the idea for what he wanted to do, and then moved on to the humans and created them, but created them in an evolutionary kind of way. And he's like, no, that's not it. So I think I like this. You know what I found though? In the end, it just doesn't matter. Let's continue. Hold on. Okay, I am back. You might think I've had enough coffee today, but I don't think I have. I think I need more coffee. I had 1 cup. And I think I'm ready for another cup, which is why I don't think I'm maintaining my thought. my thought process here. I keep jumping from topic to topic. Anyway, my son does seem much happier in homeschool, so that's one of the goals that we definitely had, is we wanted a happy kid, and I think that he is absolutely happier. Although when he goes back to school, like he did the chess tournament, and get this, he did the chess tournament this past weekend, and I played chess with him like every single day for probably about a month before the chess tournament, just to make sure he was like all practiced up and everything else. He loses every single match. I'm like, there is no, and I know the kids he was playing against, and I know that they're not better than he is in chess. I mean, a couple of them I didn't know. And then one of them I thought, you know, he would probably lose too. But the other kids, oh, I definitely, like, I know, because they're the kids that hang out over here, and I know them, I know these kids really well. I knew that he would beat them, and he lost every match, and I think he intentionally did, because he's kind of like sweet like that, like he doesn't want somebody else's feelings to get hurt. So I think he intentionally threw those matches. Really. Yeah. Am I out of, how can I be out of these? I must have just put them in the wrong, oh, there they are. What else can I tell you? You're like, just stop talking. We got a couple comments on one of my last videos. That was nice. Thank you. I love the comments. So I don't always respond to the comments, but they do mean a lot, and I appreciate them a lot. Just because it kind of shows me like somebody's watching, and also, yeah, it's really nice to get the feedback. So thank you for the comments. I appreciate them for sure. There's some kind of change coming at in YouTube in June. Not exactly sure what that is. I guess we'll see. I don't remember what I was telling you. Okay, I'm just going to let all that go. What else can I tell you? So I listened to the Gretchen Rubin she writes about happiness and happy habits and that sort of thing. She has a podcast that she does with her sister that I like to listen to. Oh, this is just so... Surely there must be a better way to do this. If you know a better way to do this, please. I obviously need help. Looks like a crazy person made this. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you, but I started to tell you and then I didn't. Is my father-in-law, and I've told you about this before. Well, I've talked about these on YouTube videos before. My father-in-law wrote his own autobiography several years ago before he got Alzheimer's. And so I've read it twice already, but I'm reading it again to my son. Let me see, where is it? Here it is. So he just self-published it, and then he gave it to people in the family for Christmas that year. So this is it. It's just a little book. And my son and I read up to... And I've made this scrapbook album for him that I've added pictures with the text, so it's pretty cool. He looks at that a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I think we got somewhere up to page 31. So the whole thing is like 80 pages. And it basically goes through World War II. So I guess that's what I was trying to tell you before. Teaching kids about World War II. It's nice to, if you have a family connection, that's a good way to do it. And then also, my daughter is totally obsessed with the Holocaust lately. She just loves to read the stories of like Anne Frank, and then there's some other books. One is like, something about counting stars. I don't remember what it's called, but I read parts of it with her, and it's really good. So that's another better way to, I guess, approach World War II. It is gruesome. You know what? I was watching, they had a new film, a new thing on the History Channel, and about World War II and the Nazis, and they, like, before, every time they would come back from commercial, they would be like, we just want to warn you that this is really hideous, and yeah, it was just, and I think I watched the whole thing, but then I stayed up, like last night I couldn't sleep, totally couldn't sleep, really, yeah, so I kind of want to have Paris in there, but not in a super obvious way. Let's see. I think maybe this page will just be about, like, different times I've been to Paris, and my family's been in Paris. Like, yeah. Who's been to Paris? And how we feel about that. I've been to Paris twice, both times by accident. Because of the trains, the train stations. So you have to be a detail-oriented person. And I think both times myself and my traveling companions were not. When we were like, wanted to get down to Spain or Portugal or I don't know where, but we got stuck in Paris. Both times I was in Paris, it snowed. Weird, huh? Okay. So I just have one more over here. Thinking of flowers would be pretty. But I think maybe more blue. Another color is needed over there. Maybe even the stripes. Yeah. That will bring in all the colors. There we go. That would be a Celeste Smith tip. Is to get a stripe and then use, and that's kind of what I did with this kit, is you take a color palette, and she takes hers from a striped pattern paper and then build a whole kit around it. Now, Celeste is, I read on the Get It Scrap forums, she is making digital kits, digital scrapbooking kits, where she'll like compile a bunch of older stuff into a new kit. Isn't that cool? It's cool, believe me. It makes me want to be a digital scrapbooker. Because then you wouldn't have to spend all this time cutting up stuff. You wouldn't have to deal with this old paper. And what else? You can put pages together faster. And another benefit would be you could get all that new, they get new product like all the time. So like getting rid of the old product, I would imagine you just delete it. I wonder if I bet they don't have the angst that we paper scrapbookers have about getting rid of the older papers. Okay, I gotta go. But I'll be back in a flash. Okay, I am back. And there is the finished product. There's the mess on the back. But we won't see that. And so what am I going to do as far as, what would be so funny is to get a travel embellishment kit out and see if I have the Eiffel Tower, because I bet you I do. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that. But let me look real quick and see what I can see. So some of it, there's a little bit of travel in here. Let's pull that. Oh, there's Paris. So ta-da. Let's use that. I wonder if I have an Eiffel Tower. So when I do a kit, I always pull too much stuff, and then I even pull more stuff. And is that the end of the world? No, it's fine. But it would be cool if I had, an Eiffel Tower thing to use it. Because you know, one of the weird things about a lot of travel scrapbooking paper lines is that they'll include an Eiffel Tower, and if you're not actually scrapbooking about France, it kind of feels like, well, that seems pretty stupid to include the Eiffel Tower if this didn't include the Eiffel Tower. You know what I mean? There's some more. Oh, that's good. Not all that wonder are lost. I like that. Okay, I don't want to get too carried away here. Well, that took a long time to put that together, huh? So if you wanted to do it like way quicker than me, you could probably figure out you could probably not have to do it on the silhouette, or if you have like some kind of a tip for dealing with that, leave a comment, let me know. I would like to know. I feel like I probably have a flare with an Eiffel Tower on it. Let me just look. It just seems like if I had that and didn't use it, I know it's not the end of the world, but it would be really cool if I could get all that up to the same page, wouldn't it? It would, I know, right? Oh, where are you? Oh, there's something about France. Here we go. These are 7 Gypsies. Now they don't really, there's another one. They don't really, I don't know if they match or not. Let's see. Wait, these are from 2007, or some of them are. 2010. Huh. The 7 Gypsies things, though, it feels like that's more of a style, like that vintage style that just doesn't really, oh, that could totally work. Yeah. So there's my little France thing. That works. So maybe the picture will go in there. I don't have a picture yet. And then the journaling will go probably over here, and then I might just not have, I might skip having, I don't feel like this is going to go back in here for another day, but I will just kind of try to cram these all together. Yeah, the 7 Gypsies, I think you could totally, if you liked the 7 Gypsy style, you could go with that kind of a style and never have to worry about keeping up with all the different trends. There's another 7 Gypsies. Oh. No Eiffel Towers. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. As soon as I stop working on this, I will find an Eiffel Tower picture. Seriously, that will happen. Does this work? What do you think? I don't know. So I guess let's look at the photo and see what I have. As far as anything I can use for, these are a little stack of old photos that I have. I don't know if there's going to be any Paris pictures in here. Now this is my uncle, my great uncle, who was in France, but I kind of don't want it to be just about him. I kind of want this to be like, this is our connections to France. Like all sorts of random different ones, you know? No, nothing strikes me in there. Let me look just a little bit more. I think I do have some. That looks very French, doesn't it? That's my little daughter. She looks pretty French in that picture, I feel like. Right? I almost want to use that. I'm like, someday I'll take you to France. Kind of a vibe. So if I were to use this, then the photo might go maybe all the way over there. I feel like it's got to look in, and I don't want this, like I do want this part on it, but I don't want it, well, it's alright actually, kind of in the middle there. And then my journaling could come out from over here. Yeah, let's do that. And that was just like randomly finding a photo. Let me just look a little bit more, see if I see anything else that would work. Now, I'm not really expecting to find a picture of me in France, although it's possible. And I found my Greece photos. Nope. Okay. All right. I think that's going to be it right there. So, how to adhere? It's always the question with vellum, right? I think right about there. And then, with the adhering of this, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm not sure. So when my kids were really small, I used to take them to the portrait studio at the mall. I could do something like that. And then you could see the photo better. It kind of looks a little better, doesn't it? I can't decide. Yeah, I think I kind of like it. Like sticking, and then I don't have to worry about the vellum situation. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut this like diagonally. Okay. So then this part It's just going to get taped down here, kind of like as a photo. Oh, that kind of did come out a little bit weird on the top there. So if you were going to do this little trick, you might be concerned about that. I don't care too much. There's one little bit, and then let's see if I want this to go under this way. It's odd, isn't it? I've made that weird. I kind of like it though, despite the weirdness. Just a little bit unusual. So I'm going to leave it. It just kind of like makes you wonder what? Sometimes it's nice to have like a little double take action going on. So I'm putting the tape under the it's not a vellum, it's a transparency, but it's under the photo so you don't even see it. Okay, and now just going to draw some lines over here for the journaling. So I'm just going to kind of connect a whole bunch of random ideas and times in our family that involved Paris or France. Or even like French class. So I'm just taking like this one idea of a place, which is kind of inspired by the 6x6 pad, and then, but it wasn't really how I set out. I really set out on this layout just to kind of copy that design, and then the rest of it kind of came as you saw. This is kind of what do they call that? Happenstance or serendipity or just randomness. So I'm using a pencil, and I could erase these pencil lines, but actually I think I'm gonna leave them. And I know it's taboo to use a ballpoint pen in scrapbooking. I don't know why, but I'm going to, so there. So here I go with writing things down. Oh, hold on. So sometimes I don't journal on the videos, like I did on on this layout. I didn't really need everybody to know all my business, but for this one, it's fine. So it wasn't even all that much business. I just feel like, I don't know, like, you know, you should respect other people's privacy too. So no names were mentioned. I didn't even put his name in the journaling, so I guess I could have, but I guess I kind of wonder, like, oh, if he ever watched it and then he saw, like, that would be kind of weird. Okay, so I almost want to use like little enamel dots or something to be like the little bullet points for maybe in between, or maybe like little hearts, like I love Paris, which I don't necessarily, but it is the city of love, and I do have these right here, so let's just use them. Okay. So these are just going to be kind of like my little placeholders in between my sentences. So I prefer London to Paris, and spent a semester in London and 2 weekends in Paris, sort of both times stuck in Paris because of train station confusion. I loved the Louvre and Sacré-Cœur. And Notre Dame, and the Arc de Triomphe, and the Eiffel Tower was indeed cool to see in real life. And so the way I'm going to end this is it's going to be like, I hope to bring you there one day, or I hope to bring you to Europe one day. So different color. Let's do a polka dot heart. I know Grandpa Alan and Grandma Grace went to Paris in their retirement travels, and I think Grammy, Ethel, and grandfather Charlie, Max Scott, went to, I think my mom went on her trip to Holland, but I'm not sure if my dad went. Okay, do another little heart. Grandma Grace's brother was stationed in France in World War II. And someday, my sweet Allison, the adventurer, I hope to bring you to see Europe too. You'll love Paris. And then just my little love mom. Okay. Ta-da. Took a million years, right? I almost want to include this cute little puppy. Isn't it cute? I don't know where he would go though. He is very cute. So this is October afternoon and I just pulled this. Would it go there? Can it go there? No. I mean, it could. It's pretty cute. gotta say. And then there's this little Paris sticker that I feel like needs to go on this layout. So if I did that, then it would seem I would need to kind of add this little, the whimsy, right? Because we all love whimsy. So add the whimsy like here, here, and then something's got to go up here perhaps. Oh, I don't know. It looks pretty silly, doesn't it? It does, but I like the silly. I do. I like it when, like, you know, you mix up the kind of serious looking Seven Gypsies with the silly little October afternoon. Yeah, I do like that. And I feel like this looks like a stamp, and the stamp really shouldn't go on that side of the letter. It should go on that side of the letter, but I'm just gonna put it this way anyways, just for there you go. And then I want one more thing that's gonna be ooh, that's kind of good. Like the dog is pooping this out. Is that too crazy? A little bit. I feel like Parisian. I feel like French people have their own weird sense of humor that probably we don't get. So I think they would appreciate that. The words coming out of the dog butt. I don't know why. And then so 1, 2, and then let's get one more little something. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Oh, that's so funny, they even have like names of cities here. And I think I probably already used Paris. Haha. That's funny. Here's a little, like, par avion with the French, you know. That is French. We add this down here. Yay or nay? Probably nay. But I think I'm just going to add it anyways. I think it looked better without it. But I'm just going to add it anyways, just because. Just because I'm gonna. And then, now I'm thinking I just want something kind of to go underneath, up here. Now I feel like I am definitely, that is not helping. I did like that. Haven't really left enough space for myself, but I could if I do that, then I kind of want to bring this down here, which now looks super weird there. I know, it's weird. Hold on. Because the reason I feel like this should go over here is that then I've got this, this, and this, which kind of like, if they merge up, they'll point you to her face. But it also feels like something bigger needs to go kind of underneath. I think I know what it might be. Even though I haven't used these on this page before, I bought a bunch of these, and I could see this going. Let's use the pink. Pink hearts. Pink hearts and lucky clovers. Yellow moons. That's too much. I didn't really want it to be a heart. I just wanted it to be just something to go underneath there. You know what I mean. Like this, maybe. Just a little something. It's not awesome. Yeah, it doesn't really, she's got a pink scarf there, but I don't really feel like it doesn't really match up. But that does, because that's the gray, like the dog is gray, so ta-da! I think I might be done. See if we can cram this under here too, if that works at all. Like, be our guest, be our guest. We're at our service, do the test. Like 3 little, I know, you can barely see them. Yeah, done. Done, done, done. Dun, 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 dun. I think that's it. I think. Let's see what else we got hanging around. Each day is a new adventure. Okay, yeah. So I think that's done. No. Okay, now here's the question. Does it need a title? And where should the title go? The title could go in this like weird white space here. You know where I might have a Eiffel Tower sticker is in this little thing. Oh, I thought I saw one. Hold on. Stop the presses. I knew I would find one. Yes. Here we go. So where on earth is this going to go on my page now? Grr. Now I feel like it doesn't have, I don't have the space for it. I could have had it over here instead of this Paris. Oh, how annoying is that? Oh well, I think I'll just give that up. Wow. Yeah, poo. Oh well. I think I'm done with it though. The only thing I think it maybe needs is maybe just one of these little hearts over here on the, like, by little, I mean like tiny. And then maybe a little heart just to be cutesy on the dog. Yeah, I know, right? Cheese ball. Like instead of the little spot on its butt, to have like a little heart on its butt, because that would be cute. I amuse myself. I remember when I was in one of the train stations and we were like, had no clue where we were. I think I want to make it pink. We went into information and I was like, oh, parlez-vous, no parlez-vous français, or, you know, I said whatever I needed to let them know, like, I was a little bit trying, like, I think I said, like, parlez-vous anglais to the lady, like, do you speak English? And she was like, no, I don't speak English. Which clearly she did speak English, but she was just like, I am not speaking English to you. So, yet another reason. Friends, I don't know. Paris has such a great, there is like a romance to it, but then, yeah, I don't know. Although I never went there like with anyone in love, that kind of thing. So maybe that makes a difference. Okay, that's all. That's my Paris memories. I really do think if I had something like Paris memories, that might be good. Oh, this is getting to be one of my long videos that I do too much. Let's see. Can we... I don't know. I think I'm going to leave the white space in there and just maybe write it in like this. Memories of Paris. There we go. Yeah, I know. This is a problem, isn't it? What am I going to do with that? Maybe. It might crowd it, but maybe one more doily. Let's see. Let's see about a big one, maybe. Like, I'm thinking like totally underneath. No. Let's go for a smaller one. Okay, I feel like I was talking a lot, and now I'm like not talking too much. Yay, nay, silly. I don't know. I feel like if then I could put a sticker in the middle of that, that might work. How about, I wonder if one of these would work. Because that kind of goes with my little theme of see the world, you know? Let's do that. Alright, now she's done. Ta-da. Yep, done. There you go. Ta-da! Thanks for watching. That is layout number 2 for my. Oh, I want to kind of add this now. It just out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, it says Travel Girl. Let's see if we can make this work. I kind of did want to get that little icon of the girl on the bike in there somehow, but the only one I had was like super large, like this, that icon, but I kind of want it to go like this was working, I felt like. Okay, so I'm going to cut this so it's got that little notchy thing this way. Because otherwise, sometimes I feel like if it's a flag and it doesn't go under something, then it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't look right. So I'm going to tuck it up here, I think. So you kind of miss that there's an airplane there, but this should be on a sticker. And then I have got to go occupy myself with other things besides scrapbooking. Yes, I do. Believe it or not. Isn't that sad? Okay. There's Travel Girl. I think that's going to be my title. Just a tiny little title. I do want to get it on straight though. All right. It's a little goofy, I admit. I'm leaving it though. Okay, goodbye. Thanks for watching.